Christmas. Now, this is going to be filmed in January, and that is because I was waiting on two more figures that I had, either ordered or were looking to get for this particular video. And, yeah, they finally arrived, so we can finally do box number 2. Once again, if there are figures that are well past, interest of, reviewing solo, we are going to open them today, just like last time. I don't believe there's anything other than wrestling figures in this one. Let's get started with this Ringside or Jazzwares Vault exclusive ROH Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson 2-pack. This is 1 of 4,000. And the reason I wanted this was just because I really wanted to get this figure, just because I think that the figures look good, but at the same point, when it comes to, my fig fed and stuff like that, I wanted to have different outfits for the Young Bucks, so that's what we got. Now, I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of the head sculpts, but that's okay. The Matt Jackson head sculpt, however, is quite okay. But overall, I just really love the shirts that they come with, and they also come with Killing the Business t-shirts as well. And we're actually going to open this one up. So here we have them out of the packaging. Here is our first look at Matt. And like I said, really, I got this just because I am really digging the tassels on these shirts, and also just the zebra print, and you can't really tell, but the legs on the pants are very shiny, and they have like this glossy look to them, which is really nice. I think the only thing that was definitely disappointing is the fact that they do not have the tassels like they did on their, I want to say, second Unrivaled figures with the blue and gold gear that they had. That's truly one of my favorite Jazzwares AEW figures because of those, but also just because they look great. But yeah, the one thing I will say that they did improve upon is the fact that the hair piece, it isn't how it used to be, or it was before, where it was a separate piece, and because it was a separate piece, it would snap off very easily. This is now more molded, which I greatly appreciate, because, that's just much better for the figure overall. And then you look at Nick Jackson. Again, not the greatest head sculpt, but it's supposed to be more the Young Bucks in their youth, and so they have much more youthful looking expressions and head sculpts compared to what a modern day figure would look like of these two. Once again, really nice tassels here. The shirt's great. Oh wow, I didn't even realize that there's a gray detail on the back there. Yeah. This one, I think you can actually really see the glossiness I was talking about. But, yeah. And again, he also has the sculpted hairpiece as opposed to how it was before, where it was a separate piece. It's all sculpted into one, which is great. Really, really something that I hope they carry forward if Jazzwares continues to do the AEW figures. Everyone knows that's still up in the air. But, yeah, I'm really digging these two figures. And now, as you'll see, we got these shirts on, the other shirts that they come with. The one thing that I did notice about the Matt Jackson is, he is loose on the inside, which is, I guess typical, wear and tear of action figures. However, for it to come out of the box like that is kind of disappointing, but, you know, it's fine. It's not going to destroy me. As I stated, they come with these other shirts, Killing the Business, and you have the Young Bucks on them. Just nice. You know, their usual cut-up shirt attire, which I don't remember if they've done that in a while. But, yeah. And this is a closer look at the shirts that they come with when you open the packaging. It's really nice. I forget what you would call this material. But it really nice. So yeah, they do not come with extra hands, but that's completely okay. I have a ton of hands that I can just swap if I wanted to. And yeah. Okay, and the very next figure that we will be opening that we got for Christmas was Mr. Brodie Lee. His Ring of Honor figure. Now the reason I really wanted this was because this would help with my Wyatt family figures that I'm trying to put together. And I say that because of the fact that he is pretty much in his Luke Harper look for the most part. Yeah. Again, this is another 1 of 5,000. Guys wear his vault figure. And yeah. I really wanted to get this, and also I also appreciate the fact that he has his signature, like, torn, I guess torn shirts that he used to wrap around his hands, which was a really unique aspect of Brodie Lee, and yeah, it's really nice. I also missed out on getting his Unrivaled figure when it came out. Okay, and here is Mr. Brodie Lee, or the big rig Brodie Lee, outside of his packaging. This is supposed to represent his time in Ring of Honor, and yeah, one of the things that I really liked about this was just how good this figure feels. I think that it feels very good. I also like the leg choice that they picked for his frame, because they're very thick, but also they're very nice. Yeah, really well done. And as I said, you have these really nice cloth wraps around his hands. I think they're bandanas, actually. I think he used to wrap bandanas around his wrists. I don't know why I said shirts, but I think they're bandanas. But the interesting thing about this is they include 2 different head sculpts. One when he had much shorter hair, which is really nice, and the not so full beard. But then you also have, I'm just going to take this off, which, again, really interesting that they put tape on it. I'm wondering if it's so that it doesn't, bleed on the figure. I don't know if this comes off, but it's very interesting that they did that. But the other head sculpt you got, if it wants to go on, is your traditional, if I can get it on, hang on a second, head sculpt, your Luke Harper head sculpt. Or when he had the much fuller beard and the longer hair. Yeah. I really think that this head sculpt is far superior. Yeah. Really, really digging this figure. I really like this figure, and yeah, I'm so happy to have this in my collection, because, like I said, I never owned a Luke Harper, Other than a Bludgeon Brothers one, but I mean in his traditional like look with the t-shirt and the blue jeans, never had one. So this is my stand-in for that. And what a figure it is. And also, like I said, this is also my Brodie Lee figure. Some figures come with accessories, some don't. And before we move on, we have two different heads. And then you also have these two. I want to call them Mike holding hands, but they're too open to hold them like. So let's call them half-closed hands. Then you have two fist hands on the figure. And yeah, those are the accessories. As I go into this box, I'm definitely noticing that there is a lot more AEW figures in here, slash Ring of Honor. So let's get into a WWE figure for you guys. Okay, now this figure is absolutely a figure that I was truly waiting for to come into the mail. And it was the Stone Cold from Series 122 Elite Collection. I, as a kid, always liked black shorts Stone Cold. I had a weird thing about like attires that like wrestlers wore, like personal favorites, and or even promo gear. And for me, Stone Cold in the black shorts was cool as fuck because of like No Mercy. If you remember that game, a real one, and if you know that you could literally just like switch into whatever gear, and you had so many different slots of clothes or outfits or whatever for the superstar. And I remember that you also had the customization option, and I think I made shorts black instead of the blue shorts, but on one of them. But yeah, and also, guys, he comes with a freaking baseball jersey. That's sick. A Stone Cold baseball jersey. That's so dope. And yes, we are going to open this one today on camera. And what's great about this is also, I guess, my very first look at the new Elite packaging, which honestly, I like it a lot. The fact that you can see everything in the packaging, everything that you're getting, and the whole entire figure through the window, including the boots or shoes that they have on, the accessories are nicely placed, and also just the fact that you're able to, I guess, get a nice, decent pose out of a figure in the packaging is also really nice. I'm glad that we're done with the half-cut windows, where it'll be like this. I'm glad we're done with that. This is great. And this is the back of the packaging, and it says, from Victoria, Texas. He is 6'2", 252 pounds. Finisher is a Stone Cold Stunner, obviously. You got a nice shot of Stone Cold there. You got his career highlights: WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Hall of Fame inductee. He was also $1 Million Champion. Interesting. They don't list a lot of his championship accolades yet. This is supposed to be from 1998. WWE is bigger and badder than ever in 1998. The biggest and baddest superstar was a Texas Rattlesnake, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. See, considering the fact that you're trying to portray this particular version, this wouldn't be a thing yet. So it would be $1 Million Championship. I don't know if I would say, was he tag team champion at this point yet? No, he might have been after, but still. Rather interesting that they put Hall of Fame inductee in that. Nevertheless, really cool. And here are the rest of the figures in the set. Bruce Creed, Julius Creed, Andrade. Gonna try to find that. Io Sky, my most sought after figure of this entire set. I'm desperately gonna look for this. Damian Priest, also a figure I'm gonna be trying to find. But yeah, And I would also say I'm going to try to get Andrade, just because it's his last WWE figure. I still can't believe it. Barely in the company, and then he's already gone. Now, despite the packaging change, does not mean that we don't change what we cut. We cut along here. We cut along here. And we cut along here. And... oh. Did I miss someplace? I take it back. You gotta cut it along the top now. Now we got it. Actually... oh, okay. Alright. So we're noticing a change here, actually. Despite what I said about the packaging changing and the opening changing, actually it does change. Compared to what we used to do, where we used to peel the back off completely, you can't do that. Because it's kind of half cut now. Like halfway open. So the background piece is actually now on the entire packaging, as opposed to before where it was a separate slip. So different. I like that though. Interesting. Yeah. Yes, it's a whole piece now. Oh, okay. Okay, so here we have them out of the packaging. And if you'll notice, he actually has a watch accessory, which is really neat. It's really neat that we have that with him. You got these black shorts, like I said. Nicely sculpted. He's got these boots on. Really nice. Feels really good. Bends really nice too. I mean, this is great. This is really good. And he comes with a Raw's War microphone. That's awesome. I appreciate that so much. It's got this nice hat. It says Stone Cold on it. You got this awesome Stone Cold 316 jersey. If they sold this again, I would absolutely buy this jersey. You know, I could probably try to find that, like a thrift or something like that. But what's great is it's double-sided. It's freaking double-sided. That's so cool. That's great. That's awesome. Especially because of the fact that, like, you don't normally see that when it comes to these, you know, Velcro shirts where it's double-sided. So that's neat. That's actually really good. So you got that nice Austin skull there, Austin across the top. Man, everybody's right. Old WWE merch or WWF merch, man, you couldn't beat it. It was so different. It was so stylish, and you can really wear it with anything. Alright, let's look at underneath. Oh, you got a nice chain. Okay, cool. You got a chain for Stone Cold. Wow. Okay, wow. That is a fantastic torso choice. Even the arms. This dude, they're getting so good at Stone Cold figures. I remember, like, the very first, like, non-elite, figures, like the exclusive figures of him and everything, and man, they used to make his arms, his torso, everything so small. Even his very first Ultimate Edition, He's so small. His arms are small. His body is small. His legs are skinny, and it's just like that's not Stone Cold. This motherfucker is Stone Cold for sure. I mean, look at that. Wow. I'm debating whether I want the bloody Stone Cold. I think I do, just because like I remember the T-shirt that they made of that, and I think maybe I have to get it just because it just looks really good too. And the red shirt, oh my god! Talk about another shirt I wanted, but yeah, I hate I hate the pointing hands. I know why we have pointing hands, but I just hate them. I think you got a secondary one. I really wish we would just get middle fingers. I know we can't, but if you're gonna do Austin from this period, it feels like you just have to stop, beating around that bush and just release like a 17 plus figure for the collectors. I mean, why not? You could even make it like a Mattel Creations if you really wanted to. Fists. Another open hand. Obviously, you have an open hand on the figure. And as we saw on the figure, he has that beautiful Stone Cold 316 jersey. Yeah, this is going to look awesome on my shelf. I'll tell you that much. For sure. Wow. Yeah. This might be my favorite figure I've gotten so far. That likeness is crazy. Holy crap. And that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so. My god. Yeah, that's gonna look great. Especially next to the Ultimate Edition from Walmart. Well, if you guys haven't gotten that one, truly recommend it. Okay, and now for another amazing figure from Jazzwares. 183. Timeless Toni Storm. She's got the hands. She's got the AEW Women's Championship. And a neat accessory. She comes with the shoe. Wow. That's awesome. I got a shot of her on the back there. I'm not entirely sure what gear this is or when she wore this. Unfortunately, just because it seems like Jazzwares has stopped putting what time period the superstar in question, or wrestler, excuse me, wore the particular attire like they used to in their very first wave of figures. But, yeah. Let's open this up. And here you go. Here is Timeless Toni Storm out of the packaging. I actually think the likeness is quite good, actually. I don't think that it's, it's not perfect, but it's definitely good enough, I would say. I love the swoop of the hair, especially because she's donning this, 1950s era Hollywood actress. Sorry, I'm just admiring the articulation on here. We've got her tattoos. Other one. Yeah. I also like the attire choice. Again, I'll have to look, but you can also see that they detailed the, let's call them shorts that she's wearing. You see that nice floral pattern? It's really nice. This is a really nice Toni Storm, actually. Yeah, I really like this. I don't know that this is a Jazzwares exclusive, but that's actually where I got mine. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. Of course, as I said before, it does come with the shoe. So if you wanted to, you can have her, I guess, hold it and have her attack someone with it. If you wanted to pose it, or, do some figure photography of her attacking someone with the heel like she would do to the skull. Another open hand. No fists, surprisingly. I think that's definitely something that's going to knock its points down, is no fists, unfortunately, but that's okay. Alright, guys, I think we have 2 more things in the box. The second last thing to show you that I got is the Jazzwares ringside exclusive Acclaimed 3-pack. Now, I really like the Acclaimed, and I thought that they were a really great gimmick. I also really liked Max Caster's rapping that he would do when he would come to the ring. Also, Sesame Daddy, awesome, really cool. I found out one of my friends actually went to school with Anthony Bowens because he is from New Jersey, so that's cool. And of course, you have Billy Gunn, Max Caster. Max Caster comes with headphones, which is cool. And you have the Sesame figures. That's so cool. It comes with the hands to do the pose for all 3 of them. That's really nice. Sorry, you guys couldn't see that, but yeah. It comes with an Acclaimed hat. Unfortunately, I'm not going to open this one on the channel. I'm going to open this one on my own, and that's just because of the fact that you guys have probably seen someone open this up before, and, it's a relatively old figure. I want to say this set came out in 2022 or 3. No, you know what? This would be 2023. Yeah, this came out in 2023. And I remember one of the things that everybody had problems with were for sure the head sculpts of particularly Max Caster. I think that the Anthony Bowens head sculpts in this pack are remarkably very good, especially the tongue out one. The Billy Gunn is not great. I don't think the Billy Gunn is all that great in the face. But we have countless figures of Billy Gunn, especially in the WWE figures. So yeah, that's fine. And I think that this head sculpt is much better than this one, but I think this one's okay. I know that they had figures released in either Unmatched or Unrivaled, but for me to finally have them in my collection and also part of my FigFed is going to be great. It's going to be fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to just even posing these figures and playing with them whenever I can. And now, the very last figure of this box, which, thank you if you have waited until the end, is none other than the ruler of NXT, Series 121, Obafemi. And we're not going to be opening this one today because this figure will be our very first figure that we open up here in the new year of 2026. yeah. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed, looking at whatever I got for Christmas slash, post Christmas. And at the same point, I hope you guys enjoy what we do here on the channel. I'm definitely going to start doing a lot more different content. And stay tuned. I want to do a top 10 figures that I personally got. Not saying that they released in 2025, but I got them in 2025. And they made me really, really happy to own and, just a slice of life that I got to enjoy. So yeah, stay tuned for that. As well as, if you guys aren't following me already on Instagram, I'm going to be posting more figure photography. I just posted a figure photography of Jon Moxley that I'm quite particularly proud of. It's a bit of a retro horror movie type-esque, image that I created. And yeah, here's to 2026. And this is Blood saying peace.